The Bahamian flag is now atop the highest peak in Antarctica, thanks to one adventurous Bahamian man. To vote or not to vote? This is the question now before the Free National Movement's Central Council over its convention. And dozens of Bahamian children left in tears and devastated after the place they called home was bulldozed. Find out about those stories and others. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and welcome to the Tribune's Top 5. 44-year-old Richard Beek was the first Bahamian man to reach Vinson Massif, which is the highest peak in Antarctica. Braving temperatures that dipped below zero, Richard Beek, 44, completed one of the world's most grueling tasks when he became the first Bahamian to reach the summit of Vinson Massif, the highest peak on Antarctica, earlier this month. Now he will set his sights on something higher, reaching the top of Mount Everest and hoisting the Bahamian flag there. The mountain climber works at Deltec Bank and has ascended to the highest peaks of 6 of the world's 7 continents, including climbing atop Mount McKinley in North America and Kilimanjaro in Africa. If he reaches the summit of Mount Everest next spring, he could be the first Bahamian to ever accomplish the feat. His love of climbing grew after reading a book about Mount Everest as a child, he said. All public schools in Andros, the Berry Islands, Grand Bahama, and New Providence were closed on Friday as the Northwest Bahamas braced for severe thunderstorms and the possibility of flooding, waterspouts, and tornadoes. The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology issued the notice of closure at 7 a.m. on Friday based on evidence received from the Met Office. Deputy Director of the Department of Meteorology, Basil Dean, said in a statement on Thursday afternoon that computer model analysis indicates that a prefrontal trough will move across the northwestern Bahamas beginning on Friday morning, and strong gusty winds in excess of gale force are also expected through Saturday night. Heavy showers and thunderstorms are expected to begin on Friday from morning and last through the evening, resulting in flooding, especially in low-lying or flood-prone areas, Mr. Dean said. A few of the thunderstorms may also become severe at times and spawn waterspouts and tornadoes, he continued. Therefore, residents in the Northwest Bahamas, which included Bimini, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Berry Islands, New Providence, Eleuthera, Andros, and Exuma Keys, should take the necessary steps to secure their properties against these expected strong winds, rain, and flooding. Amid persistent calls for the Free National Movement to hold its convention, the party's chairman revealed to the Tribune this week that discussions are centered around whether the event will be voting or non-voting. Mr. Pintard on Wednesday said he expects that the party will hold a convention ahead of the 2017 general election, but revealed that there is a possibility it could be a non-voting event in which none of the organization's executive posts will be open for challenge. Mr. Pintard told the Tribune that while broad dates have been tossed out by members for a new convention, there are continued talks over whether it will be voting or non-voting. Should the F&M Central Council choose the latter route, the convention would only be held to share the party's vision, outline elements of its plan of action, share different dimensions of its platform, and/or modify the constitution of the party, among other things. This comes amid persistent calls from some in the party for a convention to settle ongoing disputes about the leadership of Dr. Hubert Minnis. This week, F&M MP for St. Anne's, Hubert Chipman, and former Deputy Prime Minister Brett Simonet both said the party should hold a convention before the next election. It comes at a time when Dr. Minnis remains under heavy scrutiny over his leadership capabilities with a general election ahead. Recently, F&M members who have asked to remain anonymous have drawn attention to internal party politics, where they have insisted that Dr. Minnis has engaged in alleged underhanded dealings to ensure he remains at the helm of the organization. There is also a groundswell of support for Long Island MP Loretta Butler-Turner to lead the party. Mrs. Butler-Turner lost her bid to unseat Dr. Minnis at the party's one-day convention in 2014. However, former Deputy Prime Minister Brett Simonet has said if Dr. Minnis is comfortable in his position, he should have all executive posts up for challenge. As the debate over national health insurance rages on, it seems that Bahamian medical doctors and the government are at each other's throats. On Thursday, Prime Minister Perry Christie was on the defensive about his administration's healthcare plans, saying the government still intends to push forward because they have the right advice. He further castigated stakeholders, saying, "You are not going to be speaking to me from Mount Olympus, the Tribune, and the Guardian, and make that into a consultation." Mr. Christie's fiery response came 2 days after National Insurance and Labor Minister Shane Gibson criticized the Consultant Physician Staff Association for not supporting national health insurance, suggesting that the senior doctors are more interested in making the mighty dollar than saving lives. Mr. Gibson, the minister with responsibility for NHI's registration campaign, suggested that the Consultant Physician Staff Association and other NHI critics have resorted to adopting an attitude of, if I can't have it my way, then I am going to tell the public I am not a part of the process. He added that the CPSA is afraid to express its true feelings on NHI for fear that the public will say they're greedy and have no conscience. Still, he said the CPSA's position will not deter the government from conducting the NHI rollout, adding that the government will not allow any one person or group to hold it hostage over NHI. It came as leading surgeon Dr. Dwayne Sands on Tuesday night made a startling revelation that once the machinery of NHI is fully in motion, patients will likely face significant wait times as they seek medical attention in respective facilities. Dozens of children were left homeless on Thursday after bulldozers ripped through their homes, the result of a bitter land dispute. Reverend Michael Bullard, managing director of the Ambassador Coral International Association, stood by helplessly as heavy machinery razed buildings on the Pine Barren Road property that he and other founding members claimed was cleared of ownership titles when the organization sought to purchase it over 8 years ago. When the Tribune arrived on the scene on Thursday, persons could be seen running to and fro amidst the chaos, trying to salvage what little they could of their belongings, including clothes, instruments, and pets for the demolition. A number of animals kept on the premises were injured, and at least one was killed in the process, according to Mr. Bullard, who was cradling a bleeding dog in his arms as he witnessed the demolition. He said, quote, "They're destroying hundreds of thousands of dollars of work we placed on here. The gardens have just been ripped through. The caves that we were preserving with natural habitat life, they just ripped up everything. We're pleading to the Bahamian public to stand with us because honestly, this is unfair," end quote. According to Mr. Bullard, the group acquired the land from the previous owner around 8 years ago. He said at the time of the acquisition, he performed a background check on the land, which revealed that it was clear in title by the Bahamas government. The group then started paying the previous owner deposits between $500 and $600 per week for the land. However, Mr. Bullard said suspicions arose over the previous owner's credibility when another group of individuals later claimed they owned the land. Mr. Bullard said the ACIA and this new group went to court on the issue, where he claimed it was determined that the latter did not have enough evidence to suggest that they were in fact in possession of the land. However, he said someone from the group approached the organization offering to help by proving that the previous landowner who sold the property to the ACIA was bogus. Yesterday, however, without warning, Mr. Bullard claimed that the two sons of the family that claimed to own the land showed up at the property with a court document stating that they are rightful owners of the property, thus giving them legal justification for the demolition. Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com, like us on Facebook at the Tribune News Network, send us a tweet at Tribune242, or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.